Well, hello YouTube. It's a Thursday morning and we're tearing into a Ford. Yes, a 2010 Ford, my wife's truck. Oh, we're doing a driver's side hub bearing. She's got 175,000 on this truck, and I want to talk a little bit about this this truck because I was a little skeptical of these newfangled things, and I still am. But having done one wheel bearing before and doing another one, oh gosh, I don't think it took me an hour to get it apart like this. And it's actually a pretty simple system to work on here, especially for a wheel bearing. Brakes come right off. The hardest part is getting those four big studs loosened out, but part of it is I have good air tools and sockets and the right bits to get up in the back side. You gotta get up in there to undo those, and that makes quite a world of a difference, having the right tool for a job. You know, I was always getting by on the tools that I have, and fortunately I've lately been able to invest in a few more tools. And yeah, so it's not a bad system. 175,000 on a hub bearing, not so bad. This one, I don't even think it's that bad, but it's starting to get a little snug and it doesn't turn completely smooth. And my wife is headed 14 hours away Saturday, so I want to make sure there's no problems whatsoever. The part that really bugs me about this, if I was to do this in my old truck, I might have $50, $60 tied up in a couple bearings races and a seal. And okay, let's say I got $100 tied up in if I bought top end ones and a universal joint for the shaft. For this truck, now I have stayed away from the aftermarket hub bearings because the Ford ones have gone almost 200,000 miles, which, like I said, is pretty good. And I hear reports of the other ones going in about 100,000. Well, an aftermarket one is like $300 to $400, and this bearing hub from Ford, this is $600. Hub and bearing, $650. Well, they gave it to me for $585. And then two seals, $34 and $26 for seals, and $91 for a universal joint. So about $800 into it, and of course I'm doing the labor. $800. I think I'd rather pack bearings by hand. And that's one thing I like about packing them by hand, is if they're good, you pack them and you know what you got, because you look at them. With this doesn't come apart. Well, it comes apart somehow. I haven't tried to take one apart. I did notice there's a snap ring in here. But yeah, $800, Ford? $800? At least the parts are lasting and they've been dependable. The quality in Ford has seemed to gone up. But $100, getting a little greasier. $800, only having to do it every 5 years. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I like to be into things more often than not, and then you know what you got. But like I was saying, overall, the labor's a lot less, and if you have the tools. So I'm not necessarily complaining. I'm just a little baffled at the cost of things, and it's a lot. I mean, the truck is for work, so you know it's budgeted for, but just a little bit of a pain in the butt. And one thing that I do like about these axles, they have a seal. It's in a couple pieces. There's this rubber floaty guy. It's allowed to walk side to side. Of course, it's ripped now. And this metal retainer, and that goes in right here. And so there's a crap keeper outer for all that stuff that usually built up in the axle tubes. I have a special little scraper designed for the old school ones to pull all that stuff out when I do work in there. So that I do like. It keeps things a little cleaner. Is it necessary? No, but that's the cheaper of the seal. It's like 20 some bucks. So that I think is a good idea. I'd love to see like an aftermarket design come up with. But anyway, that's what we're up to. And we're moving along just fine. This is the other seal for this unit to the hub. And the last thing I wanted to make a point of, none of the U-joints on this truck are greasable, except, do you see that thing in there? The knuckle joints have a grease fitting. And the first 4 years we owned this truck, 5 years we owned this truck, I didn't know those were in there, so I never greased them. And I grease everything I can. So now I do, of course, but I'll be changing out this U-joint just out of principle. It doesn't appear to have any problems, but since I'm in there and I'm not going in there until I do another wheel bearing, I'll change it. But anyway, yeah, overall, pretty good setup. And it certainly treated my wife well, and that's really all I care about, is that it takes good care of her. Alright, I'm getting long-winded. Be well, everyone. Talk to you later.